probably a little reckless with the stick, and unfortunately got me. But it ended up being okay. I'm fine, and the league will handle it from here.
What was the damage, Nora?
Just some teeth. Yeah. So.
Spent some time at the dentist yesterday, or?
No, I haven't got it taken care of yet.
And do you feel it at all?
No, it's fine. It was already ones that have broken before, so they're already dead. So.
Makes apologies fairly rare?
Fairly, yeah. I think if guys know they did something that they don't mean, or they catch a guy in a certain matter, guys will say sorry. So it's not unheard of.
Are you surprised it's an in-person hearing? It sounds like he's facing a pretty stiff suspension. I know he has a history.
Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, I don't look too much into that. That's not my department.
How many teeth have you lost or broken in your career?
Only 4, but no full ones, thankfully.
What did Matthews look like to you the other night?
Unreal. I mean, most nights they're buzzing pretty good, but the other game against Washington, they were really rolling. Obviously, they had, I think, Tone had 5 and Domes had 4 assists. They were working really well.
As a teammate, as someone involved in the game, what's it like when we saw Matthews Ovechkin, now be Matthews McDavid? Does that get your attention as well going into a game like this tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of us are fans of the game as well. It's always fun to watch the best players go at it. We got a lot on our team that we get to watch every single night, and when we're up against a guy like Ovechkin or McDavid and Draisaitl tomorrow night, it's obviously a challenge, and we gotta be ready for him. But at times you can catch yourself and just you're in awe at the plays they're making, and you gotta just let them do their thing at times.
Matthews Ovechkin last game now.
Yeah.
Matthews, you, McDavid. What are these kind of games like for you?
Yeah, they're always exciting when you play against the league's best. I think brings out the best in everyone. Competitive nature, and obviously Connor and Leon have been at the top of the league for the last little bit, and obviously a little extra motivation for someone like Tone. So excited to get out there and compete. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game.
What's the feel with Nyes over there on that line with you guys?
Nyes is great. I mean, I've loved playing with Matty. He's awesome. Big guy, competes hard, a lot of speed, really good on the forecheck, goes to the net. So, he's a great guy to play with, and obviously a big piece of this team.
What's the key to slowing down McDavid? Obviously, you've seen him a long time.
Yeah, I mean, going back to junior, you couldn't stop him back then. You still really can't stop him, but you can just try and contain him as much as you can. He's got a lot of speed, so you kind of try and take that away in the neutral zone, and obviously box out whenever you can in our zone and take away his time and space as much as you can. He's gonna make his plays, but you just got to try and limit the high danger ones as much as possible. So it's gonna be a good test for our group, and we're all looking forward to the challenge.
We talked about your off-ice chemistry with Auston after the game. Why do you guys hit it off?
You know what? Before I even played here, we didn't really know each other that well, but I think we had the same agent, so we got to know each other a little bit through that. Both of us love tennis. Got a lot to talk about with that. So spent a lot of time together. Like I said earlier, I'm his #1 fan, and love getting to know him. He's a great human being, super humble, works hard, loves working at his craft, and got a lot of similarities in that sense. So both like pushing the pace, and both of us want to win. So it's we have fun together for sure.
Lots of guys have cycled in and off his wings, both sides. Were you sort of itching for a chance to play with him to see what you could do?
I don't know. I was itching to wait for something like that. But if the chance came, obviously you're not going to pass that up. So I'm just trying to make the most of the opportunity and help him out and make it easier on him as much as he can. Obviously he's a super dynamic player and likes to have the puck and competes every shift. So you just got to match his work ethic and his competitiveness out there, and just try and be successful in any way you can around the ice.
For you to have success with the top power play unit that
I think obviously the playmaking side of it and distributing the puck and making guys bite and giving those guys some more time with the puck is the key. But when the time's right, you got to pull the trigger too and shoot and get some rebounds. Obviously, John, Austin, and Willie can all score. So anytime that puck's bouncing around down there, it's pretty lethal for them.
What do you make of how the team is adjusted without Mitch? He's such a unique guy, but seems 3-1-1. Seems like you guys are finding a way. What do you make of how the group is kind of adjusted?
Just like any other time we lose a guy. I mean, every guy in this room is equally as important to the group. So it doesn't matter if it's Mitch or Austin or anyone else that goes down. I mean, everyone else to step up, and that's just the reality of the sport we play. It's going to happen. Injuries are going to happen, suspensions, all that stuff. So I think everyone's done a great job this year of jumping up when they had to, and just got to keep it going.
Have you seen him? Is he around? Like, is he
Yeah, of course.
A bit to get back? He's a pretty energetic guy.
Yeah, of course he is, and he's a huge part of this team. We can't wait to get him back. So whenever that is, I don't know. It's not my place to answer that, but we're looking forward to getting him back for sure.
Given the role that your dad played, Chris Simon passed away this week. Your dad had some fights with him. What do you think when you see some of these fighters that have, left the earth a little earlier than other players?
I mean, I don't think that's a fair way to ask the question, but I think anytime someone in our game passes away, it's equally as tragic, equally as sad, and hits us all pretty hard. So, said it earlier, and as a group, we're all thinking of the Simon family, and I mean, there's not much you can say or do at this point because that's the worst thing anyone can go through, and we're all thinking of them and praying for them.
So what do you make of the effort you got from Tyler the other night? Obviously not feeling his best going through.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the guy he is. He's a competitor, and just stuff like that doesn't really seem to slow him down, even though it's it's tough to go through that. So obviously hopefully he's feeling better and maybe ready to go tomorrow.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you since Mitch has been out? He's such a unique player.
Yeah, I mean, you're just playing with different guys. Obviously, we've spent a lot of time together playing with each other, so I think chemistry-wise, just kind of understanding where we are and how each other likes to play out there. And when you play with different guys, you obviously have to adjust. But we got a lot of good players on this team, so just try to communicate out there and try to make plays. But I think just communication is probably the biggest key.
Connor and the others coming in tomorrow. Not a lot of people. You guys are among the only people that understand what it's like to be on the spotlight, to go number one. How's the relationship developed away from the ice and your time in the leagues? You guys have gotten comfortable in your roles.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I think over the last couple of years, we spent more time together, and we share the same agent now. So, it's been good. I got a lot of respect for him, obviously, as a player, as a person. As a guy that takes on a lot of responsibility with who he is. So, obviously, a lot of respect for him.
Do you try to learn from each other? Or teach each other?
I don't know if that's the word I'd use, but, I think you try to take pieces from all the elite players and try to maybe weave it into your own game. I think everybody's obviously has different strengths and different weaknesses, and obviously his game is very unique, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't that I'm not as good at, as far as the way he skates and all that stuff. I mean, there's not really anybody in the world, maybe one other guy that can skate like him. So I think you just try to take different pieces and try to weave them to your own game, and but try to play to your strengths as well.
Stars in lots of sports get up for the rivalry games against the other stars. What does it feel like going to a game against Connor? Is it just a regular game, or is there added attention?
I mean, we see these guys twice a year, so I'm not sure there's much of a rivalry there. Like, obviously, it's two pretty good teams and two Canadian teams. So there's obviously a lot of pride there within the organization, the fans, and I think it's more so of like a media thing, and you guys like to obviously push it and stuff, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, just want to go out there and play our game and continue to take steps moving forward. And we're playing a really good team, one of the hottest teams in the league. This year, since they made the coaching change, and obviously, their win streak and all that stuff, and they haven't really slowed down much. So it'll be a really good test for us.
So, you guys,
as a former teammate, your thoughts on Zach's charge to 50-year?
Yeah, I mean, he's been having a heck of a season, and I think just with him, every year he gets better and better. And when he was here, when he's been there, every year he just seems to get better and better, and it's pretty evident in his play. And obviously I'm really happy for him. He's having an incredible year and scoring at a really great pace. So it's been fun to watch, and we'll have to try to shut him down tomorrow.
Max suggested some of your chemistry, instant chemistry, may be related to your off-ice chemistry. Like, why do you feel like you guys have kind of hit it off?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Doms for a while, and since he was playing on the Coyotes, spent time with him in Arizona. So I don't know, we sit next to each other on the plane, enjoy hanging out and all that stuff, and we got a great relationship off the ice. So I mean, when we get on the ice, obviously we just try to go out there and compete and make plays. And like I said, I think communication is just a big piece, and something I like to do is just communicate, talk, and kind of sort stuff out, ask questions, get a feel for what the other guy's thinking as well. So that's a pretty big piece in my opinion, and I think we've been able to do that in the couple games that we've been together.
You guys got some power play work in on Matt Murray. How's he been doing in his recovery?
I think he's been doing great. He's looking really good. Obviously, really admire the way he just comes in every day and he works, and it's not easy to do when you're working out by yourself a lot, spending a lot of time alone, spending a lot of time with the trainers and stuff like that, and not around the team all the time. But it's always nice to see him here, and it's been really good, encouraging to see him on the ice, and getting back to himself. And I thought he's been looking really good. So,
Sheldon, how's Mitch progressing?
He is progressing. He's skated the last few days, so that's progress for sure. I think the plan is for him to take tomorrow off again and then get back to it. But he's skating, and he was out there for a good bit today before practice, so he's making progress, but not available this weekend.
How is Bertuzzi?
Not here today, not in the building, so not good in that sense. A little bit worse from what he was the other day, and a little bit different symptoms and such as well. So questionable for tomorrow at this point, not ruled out, but obviously not well enough to be here today.
Sheldon, sometimes when you scratch a player, not you personally, but a player is scratched, sometimes it's deemed to be kind of like a punishment. But you don't frame it that way. You said with TJ, it's an opportunity to reset, like a mental reset. When you guys did the same thing with Ilya earlier, taking him out just for his own mental health. Is that what's going on with TJ right now, or you just the mental reset is what you're looking at for him?
Yeah, it's more of that. I mean, Rhodes is a better player than he's played, and he's also played better hockey than it perceives, or than the perception might be. It's a guy that's taken on the hardest minutes and hardest matchups of anybody on our team, and has got, plus minus is what it is, but it's when you've got the hardest matchups and you're still finding ways to be on the positive side, you're doing lots of good things there. But I think we and he acknowledge that he could be better, and we need him at his best. So, if we have to take a step back in order for that to be the case, then that's what we'll do, and that's where we're at right now.
What would you like to see him get back to?
I'd just like him to clear his head, and that's a big part of it, is the mental part of it. He's had a tough go here right from the beginning of training camp all the way through. And because of the demands that we put on him, he hasn't really had time to breathe and regroup and find himself. And I think that's kind of where we're at. We've added some defensive depth here, obviously, at the trade deadline, and we're in a different position as a team than we were. So we get a chance, as I said, to really help Rhodes and the mental part of it. I think we're hoping re-energizes him, and with that comes an extra step. And when you have an extra step, all of a sudden the puck moves quicker. All of a sudden you're defending less. All these sorts of things start to fall into place. But most important thing right now for us is just to give him the time that he needs to get back to being himself, because it's, like as I say, he's a very, very important piece of our team. When he's at his best, he's as good a defender as we have, and reliable and consistent a guy as we have. So we got to get him to that.
So it's not that long ago that Jamie Benn won our roster with 87 points. Connor already has 86 assists. Austin's going for 70 goals. Can you just speak to how much the offensive explosion in this game and how those guys have sort of led it in this era, this decade?
Yeah, I think obviously there's been some rule changes along the way that I think have benefited the game and benefited the individuals as well. That said, I mean, the talent level of players is outrageous. When you start talking about some of these guys, and we get to see it every day with Austin and William and Mitch and John and Morgan. Like, look at the guys that I've coached here for a number of years. You see them, the talent level is high, and I would even put it further than that to say it's not just the stars, the superstars that have such outrageous talent. Obviously, they're on a different level, but even any young player coming in to the team, that their skill set is so much higher than what it was years ago, I believe. And as a result, the game itself, offensively, the execution and the passing and the shooting and all the tactics that come with it offensively, I think is just in a really good place. And then some of the rules have benefited guys, whether it's overtime rules or face-off rules and the power play and all these sorts of things, icings, all that kind of stuff. I think has all contributed to guys getting bigger numbers.
Is Labushkin feeling a bit better after earlier in the week?
Yeah, he was. Today is his first day on the ice since the Carolina game, so he's not gonna play tomorrow. We'll get him another day and then sort of take it from there.
I saw Matt Murray taking shots. I don't know how active he's been with players on the ice, but good sign. What's the progress?
Yeah, a very good sign. And he has been out there a little bit with guys here and there, but today was probably the biggest step he's taken in terms of our guys being out there and taking part in some of our skill drills and some power play work before practice. So, yeah, great sign. Looks like he's moving well. Obviously, he's a long ways away from being an option for games or anything like that, but it seems like the work that he's put in and the recovery that he's had has served him well.
Why do you think Matthews and Domi have kind of found this instant chemistry?
I think, there's there's parts of their game, not unlike Mitch and Auston, that fit really well. Max looks to make plays and has the ability to make plays. I think anytime something fresh and new, then it works well and feels good early, and you kind of ride that a little bit. So that's where those guys are at right now. So there's some of that, I think, and then some of it, as I say, is just it's a fit with the chemistry of the group. And with Mitch and Yarncroc being out, we felt like we needed more depth and more skill, in particular on the wings. So that's changed how we've approached things with Max, and this connection that those guys have made, we've benefited from and look to ride that.